Good morning, everyone. This is Dave King, and there's Matt Martin. We have Connor back with us, back behind the glass, making us sound great. 7:08 a.m. as we move along, and as promised, we have City Councilwoman Karen Gibson with us this morning. Karen, good morning.
Morning.
Glad that you made it in for us this morning. Had an exciting, I understand, exciting city council meeting last night.
Not necessarily exciting. It was busy. Very
Okay.
busy. Yesterday.
You phrased it better. It's busy, not exciting.
Busy.
So did we do anything of interest to our audience?
We did a lot during the work session. The council meeting, it was pretty typical, but the work session was busy. We started at 1:30 and didn't get done till after 4. So we covered a lot of ground.
This morning?
No. Yesterday afternoon. But we did cover a lot of ground.
I thought you met it in the afternoons. And
You know, we used to do that. We used to go till midnight or so.
Because I remember council people complaining that sometimes they would go until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when they had long agendas.
Yeah, we've done that before.
So what's the number one thing on the list?
Well, one thing I want to talk about is the Lubbock Alert. And I don't know if you've heard about that, but that's our new notification system that we went online with yesterday. And I think that is...
Oh, text.
That's the text.
iPhone.
That is our Lubbock Alert. And if you haven't done that yet, you need to go online to www.lbkalert.com and get signed up on that. That's an alert system that you can sign up for emergency notifications, advisory notification, or event notifications for anything throughout Lubbock, either storm warnings, anything that happens with any of the museums, libraries, any road closures, anything within the city you can be notified for. And you can sign up for any of that you wish to be notified for or don't. You can pick and choose.
Now, this is, if I recall, we talked about this. Maybe it was Jeff Griffith that we talked about this last time they were out. And it's something that's similar to like your Amber Alerts that many of us get on our phones now.
Yes, that's correct. And you can choose to do it over a text. You can have it over email. You get to pick how you want it done. It's very easy to sign up. I did it.
I'm doing it
less
right
than
now.
5 minutes. Yes.
And so this is something that's very little cost to the city.
Yes, and not only that, it's a very good system. And I'm not a big fan of tornado sirens, and I have always.
Nor am I at all. I think that's a really bad idea.
I've always said there's better technology, and I think this is absolutely one of those.
Yeah.
This is the new wave of technology.
And the
much
tornado
better.
sirens, a very expensive proposition to install those.
Yes, and everybody has access to a phone. They may not have a phone, but they have access to a phone.
Oh, I'm sure it's well over 90%.
Yes.
Well, I mean, even our children now have phones.
Yes, they do. And so I think this is the way to go. This is absolutely the wave of the future.
I think you're right. Yeah, and like I say, we did talk about that last time. I'd forgotten it, but that sounded to me like good technology and something that will work and not cost an arm and a leg.
No, it's been very good for the city. Are you signed up?
Well, I've got the first page done. I'm trying to pay attention and do it at the same time.
And you get to go through and pick and choose what you want notifications on. So it's up to you.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah.
Well,
and you actually put in your area. You can put in, and you can do more than one. You can put in your work, where you work. You can put in your home.
Yeah, you can put in email addresses, mobile phones, texts, and you can get phone calls, I guess. If you put in a mobile phone number, you get a text on the text one, and you can put home and business as well.
Yes.
Now, is this something where you can go online on your PC and download the app, make your changes there, and then when you sync your phone?
And it's through Everbridge, and Everbridge has an app, so you can just download the app and do it through there. It's very easy, very easy.
Okay, well, give that website again. I know there's a lot of people that didn't hear it the first time.
www.lbkalert.com.
So LBK Alert. Singular.
Yes, lbkalert.com.
Okay. So I'm looking. So you can actually set up multiple locations here. You can put home. You can put your business location, so that if, let's say, some crazy guy's running around with a gun and you get an alert on that, and it's close to your business but not close to your home, you can still get an alert on that.
That's correct.
So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a great technology. Yeah. Great technology. So we're really excited about that. You'll start seeing commercials about that. You'll start seeing posters around town. I've got business cards. I'll give you guys some to hand out. And
okay.
It's really cool. It's great technology. Very excited about that.
So tell you what, look, can we take it? Yeah, let's take a break now, and I think we'll come back and probably talk about downtown redevelopment.
Great.
That's a really big issue,
Yes.
is it not?
Yes.
Okay, back with Karen Gibson, Councilwoman Karen Gibson, after this. News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin, 7:20 AM on this Friday morning. Champagne Friday at my house, 49 degrees, and back in the...
Wait. Champagne Friday at your house, does that mean everyone's invited?
No.
Because I think you need to tell us where you live so that we can all go and have some Champagne Friday.
Me and Gail, movie, and champagne. Oh. Okay. It is.
How many years have you done that?
Oh, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We've done it a long time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are copying us now.
Are they? You're a trendsetter.
Anyway, we're back in the studio this morning. We have Councilwoman Karen Gibson, and she's here to report on the City Council meeting from last night. So do we want to talk dog parks, or do we want to talk downtown revitalization?
Pick one. We can do both.
Let's do dog park.
So let's do dog parks first.
Let's do dog parks first.
Last night we approved 2 dog parks. This was in the budget already, but we went ahead and approved it. We did
2 dog parks.
2, one at Clapp and one at McKenzie. They were already in the budget. The bids came in much lower than we had approved, which is good. For the 2 dog parks, it's going to be around $146,000. That's for everything, for the benches, for the trees, for the stations. $146,000
for both parks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The fencing, for everything, and that does give the large and the small dogs space. Also, there's and I'm learning a lot about dog parks. I'm not a big dog park person by any stretch, so I've learned a lot during this process. You have to have a leash area where you have a safe place for them to take the leash off. So there's like a double gate. Is that what it's called? The double gated area. So anyway, that also includes that.
Well, now, am I to understand that the dog park is just a fenced area in a park where you can take your dog and take him off the leash and let him run?
Yes, but there's also benches, there's watering stations, there's bag stations where you have little bags so you can pick up.
Yeah, you better pick up your stuff,
trails.
or there's going to be some problems.
Doggy trails, yes.
Well, I guess I'm having a hard time understanding, other than taking the dog off the leash and letting him run free, it's no different than having him on the leash.
No, it's a social thing. They're able to play with other dogs by running back and forth.
Yes.
It's about
and throw
dogs
frisbees.
Getting social
with
interaction with other dogs. No, it's not necessarily that you, the owner, play with the dog. The dog is getting to play with other dogs.
Oh, well, that is so important.
So
apparently it is.
Oh, jeez.
I do have
apparently that is a big thing. I did not know that. I mean, but
see, I don't think dogs have to socialize with other dogs.
My dog loves to socialize with other dogs. I do.
Well,
have
get
to
over
admit
it.
That. But,
you know.
So first off, the locations of the parks. I know that y'all are using places that Lubbock already had and parks that already exist.
Yes.
But you've got one at 50th and L, and the other one at McKenzie Park. I mean, both of them seem to be either central or northeast. Mm-hmm. I would think that, just looking at how Lubbock would be set up, that Southwest would have more a need for that.
Well, I will tell you.
What made y'all decide to use those?
I'll tell you, those 2 parks, we started with those, first of all, because they have the room. Mm-hmm. Lubbock doesn't actually have dog parks right now. So we started with those because we do have the room. We're not having to buy land. We're not having to create space. In Southwest Lubbock, the apartment complexes, and a lot of people that use the dog parks don't have yards, so they're coming from apartments. But the apartment complexes in Southwest Lubbock, a lot of those are now being built with their own dog parks. So the need in Southwest Lubbock, that need hasn't come from Southwest Lubbock yet. Now it probably will. I do know that there is one planned in the future for Southwest Lubbock, right off of the Marcia Sharp. So that will be coming probably in the future. That's kind of out there still, but
well,
it's
I can
not
tell
like
you,
it hasn't been looked at.
Okay, just a few, half a block from my house is the Bill Miller Park, which I think is probably one of Lubbock's very best parks. And we see people down there all the time that are running their dogs free. They're not on leashes. No, they're supposed to be, are they not?
They are supposed to be. We do have a leash law, yes.
Yeah, in fact, I think it was yesterday or day before, I drove by there, and there was a person that had either 4 or 5 dogs. None of them were on a leash. And I thought, wow, how do you control those dogs? Anyway, so we're getting dog parks.
We're getting dog parks.
And we'll have them up and running, within the next year?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Is there a liability as far as dog attacks and stuff like that associated with this, and how does Lubbock
I think that's been the big question. I think that's actually on the owner. I mean, when you assume the liability when you release your dog into that area with other dogs, and that's been a big question from the start. When we started talking about these dog parks, and it's been several years ago when we talked about it on the council, I was absolutely against it. I know when we first had these a park, and it was a park that was proposed, it was a tremendous amount of money. And I was not for that at all, and I was very vocal about that because I think when you're putting up fencing and areas for dogs to run, it's grass, it's open space, and obviously you need trees and watering stations. And I'm not against. I'm a dog lover. I have 2 of them. I love my dogs, and I've always had a dog. So. But I think you can put too much money into a dog park, an area for them to socialize.
It's hard to understand if, and that's what I'm kind of struggling with. It's kind of hard to understand if it's that valuable when you already have parks. And yes, you have to put them on a leash, but it seems like that overall that's a small price to pay.
I have a backyard.
Yeah.
and so that's just my thinking. But I understand there's people that don't.
Okay, well, quickly, we have a text messenger this morning, Karen, from the 910 prefix that says, what are the insurance and liability costs to the city of Lubbock?
It is my understanding there is no extra. It as far as for our liability for these dogs, that does not come on us.
Okay.
They are entering that area at their own risk.
Okay. So would we have 40 seconds? Okay.
When we come back, I've got one more question about the dog parks, and that is, we had this asked, you have a difference of almost half, y'all saved about half. What happens to the rest of that money that was allocated? So
that will go into either another area for a dog park or into parks. That stays in the parks and recreation.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it is now 7:28 here on KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin, and also Councilwoman Karen Gibson. We'll take this 7:30 break and be back with more. News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. 7:35 AM on this Friday morning, 49 degrees as you're getting up, and back in the studio here with Councilwoman Karen Gibson talking about last night's City Council meeting. Let's get to some of the text messages this morning. Let's go with this one. Say, are you, as we learned with the TTU shooting, the Lubbock infrastructure cannot handle mass alerts. Why does Lubbock think it's better than other smart cities that use sirens or at least supplement with sirens as fail-safe. And that's from the 281 prefix this morning.
I will say that the Lubbock infrastructure and the Texas Tech infrastructure are two completely different things. And I will also say this is newer technology than the Texas Tech technology.
Okay.
This is brand new.
Another message this morning. This is from the 470 prefix. It says it starts with a dog park. We moved to bicycle paths across town. And Karen, there's a lot of people that do not like the bicycle paths. You are aware of that, I'm sure.
Very aware of that.
Moved to electric train system, and we become another town in California.
No.
How is a dog park helping the east side to become a more appealing and safe place to live?
The east side?
Somebody's making, yeah. I
McKinsey,
guess the point
I think it's making Lubbock a better place. Here's the thing, and once again, I want to say I am not a fan of dog parks. I did vote for it. I think that's what the people want, the majority. And keep in mind, we're a college town. We're a university town. We've got 2 universities. We've got South Plains College. We've got Wayland Baptist. So we're a university city. We're also a larger city. All of us that grew up here, including myself, and I'm going to include myself in this, we still think of Lubbock as a small town. I mean, we all grew up here. This is Lubbock. This is home, and we grew up in a small town. So we still have that small town feel, and why do we need a dog park? And I get that. I absolutely get that. But then at the same time, the flip side to that is you've got to have the quality of life amenities to bring people to town and to keep these college people here. Millennials are some of the hardest people on the face of the planet to appease. And I'm serious. You're a millennial.
I'm not.
You're not?
Barely, but I'm not.
Barely.
He's 50 years old. He's a lot older than
Are
that.
you really?
No, he's
Oh.
I'm 37.
Oh, yeah. Oh. But I think if you want to keep these university students here, these graduates here, you've got to have some of these amenities that they're asking for, and that is throughout the country. And you're not going to keep them here if you don't have these things. That's what they
includes
want.
bicycle paths.
It does. Unfortunately, it does. That's just part of it. That's what these people want. They need places to work. They need places to walk their dogs because they're not living in homes. They're not living in homes with backyards. They want to live downtown. They want to live in apartments. They don't want yards to mow. It's not what we grew up with. Mm-hmm. It's a completely different world.
So as far as Broadway and how they have that set up, how has that been working and functioning?
You know, surprisingly enough, very well. Mm-hmm. Very well. It's really funny that when they put those bike paths down, I was shocked that they put them down, first of all, on brick streets. But they use them. They use them like crazy.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
I've never seen a bicycle on them.
They're on there.
Them every day.
Well, they're on there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's probably not during the day. It's probably in the mornings or in the evenings. But
yeah, but they go from Tech to Canyon Lakes, and that's the route.
Yeah.
Well, you remember, I'm sure, that I believe, was it not... who was it that had the proposal to put in the electric trolley to run from Broadway and University down to the Depot District and back? I thought that was a good idea.
I think we're a long way away from something like
Probably
that.
very expensive, isn't it?
It is very expensive, and I think
Well,
we're.
wouldn't that be cool, though?
Well, and I think that's going to be
that would help downtown.
Way down the line, but that is going to be probably a public-private partnership coming in. But I think you're years away from that.
Yeah, maybe so. But that would be so cool, and it certainly would help downtown. You could transport all those tech kids to the restaurants and to the Depot District and all that, and all they got to do is hop on the trolley and ride. It'd be kind of fun experience.
I think you're going to have to get bodies downtown. I think downtown's going to have to be a thriving area. People are going to have to be living downtown.
Yeah, well, chicken and egg,
So, exactly.
Do you have any other plans for the complete streets in that area or anywhere else right now?
I think as downtown develops and grows, you're going to see more and more coming in down there. You're going to see more and more of that program coming in. We did 3 grants last night for LEDA of the redevelopment of downtown. They've got the grants going on. If you're remodeling a building down there, they will give you partial. Mm-hmm. It's up to 10% of the remodel. And when you're looking at $500,000 in a remodel or $400, $50,000 isn't much, but it's $50,000 you didn't have. And so I encourage anybody that's redoing a building downtown to apply for these grants, because it's money you didn't have.
Yeah.
And it's there, and it's there for your use.
Well, and again, we've got to do something with downtown.
Yes. Yes, and I really believe as it comes in, the more people that begin to bring in restaurants and redo some of these.
And it's going that way now.
And I don't know if you've seen the old Federal Building or the old jailhouse, what they're doing with that. Those lofts down there, they're almost done. The old Federal Building is almost done.
Okay. We're going to take a break here, Karen, and we'll be back, and we can talk more about downtown redevelopment after this break. News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin here. And back with Councilwoman Karen Gibson talking about last night's council meeting and what was going on there. We're talking about downtown redevelopment. So where were we on that topic?
Well, we just had finished talking about those grants.
Yeah, you actually gave 3 different grants. Mm-hmm. One was it looks like a combination of Rager Dykes and McDougall companies. I guess they made a temporary thing for the renovation, RDM7. Mm-hmm. Did they just create this for this renovation?
They're a partnership.
A partnership, okay. Mm-hmm. And they got $34,000. Let's see. But it looks like the West Table. The people who own West Table got they're renovating a $252,000 worth of construction.
That's Cameron and Rachel West. They're doing a new brewery,
and they got $25,284. Mm-hmm. And then let's see, the Dilbert and Mark McDougall got $488,000. I'm sorry, they're doing a $488,000 reconstruction. They got $48,832.
That's correct. They're doing what's called a pocket hotel in the Pioneer.
And so I was going to ask, now I've been kind of explaining this, but what is a pocket hotel?
Well, I've kind of been explained what it is too.
We probably had the same explanation, but I have a hard time seeing it in my head.
Well, it's my understanding that it's a hotel that everything is kind of done online, and you have your key on your phone. Everything's done electronically through a phone. You don't actually have a
pocket. So your phone is in your pocket.
Yeah. And these are the new kind of up and coming.
So you rent it. You probably rent it through an app. You get in the door through an app. Mm-hmm. There's no receptionist, no nothing. You just walk up there and get your room.
That's correct. However, they do pay the hotel motel tax. They do pay the hot tax to the city. Okay. They have to report to the city and pay the hot tax.
It kind of sounds like Uber. You pay it through your phone. You use it. You don't actually. There's no transaction officially. That just happens in the NE3.
It's an electronic hotel.
so
I guess
this isn't going to be like an hourly hotel.
No.
Is it? Okay.
No.
I'm not trying, but
no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, I guess it could be, but you have to pay for a whole day. I'm sure.
It's just kind of an interesting concept I'd never really heard of before. They were talking about this right here.
New thing.
And they're small rooms. They're not big rooms. They're only weren't they 315 to 820 square foot each. So they're pretty small.
They're more like for businessmen that come in.
Come in, you go to bed, you get up, take a shower,
go to your
leave.
meeting, and
A text message this morning. This is from the 200 prefix. It says, Karen and Dave, what gives you the right to someone else's money? This is from Gene Ship. I don't really know what you're talking about there, Gene. If you're talking about the spending of the money on the dog park, all that is city tax money, and the downtown redevelopment, that's city tax money. So this is it's not really someone else's money. This is tax money or taxes that we pay.
No. That money comes from
taxpayers.
all the citizens.
Well, it does, but this is tax money that we pay, and we know we're going to pay.
I'm sorry. I understand where he's coming from. What he's saying is, look, downtown redevelopment, all this stuff, you're taking money from us to redevelop stuff that Lubbock's not even moving that direction. So that's what his point is. So, I mean, I understand where he's coming from.
Well, man, I know, and maybe that is, and maybe you and Gene are perfectly happy and content to see the city of Lubbock, the downtown area, just collapse.
Well, hold on just a second. Can I say something?
Please do.
I think you have to have a fine balance between growing, which we are. We're growing to Southwest Lubbock, Northwest Lubbock, South Lubbock. But I also think, and Maurice says this all the time, Maurice Stanley, you still have to take care of what you have.
That's right.
And downtown Lubbock was deteriorating, literally. And we have to redevelop downtown Lubbock. Your downtown in any city, and I don't care what city it is your heartbeat. And if you don't have a downtown, your heartbeat.
Well, you just can't write it off.
That's right.
You just can't put a fence around it and say, this is a no-go zone.
You just can't do it. And it was deteriorating just tremendously. And so I think you have to reinvest into your downtown. And when you've got people that are willing to come in and put money into it privately, I think your city has to come in. The most of what the city's doing is the infrastructure.
Karen, we appreciate you so much coming out, but it looks like our time is up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I can't believe I've been here an hour.
Yeah, it's been a good conversation. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
And we'll take the 7:52 a.m. break and be back in a moment.